Spend more time working on who you are, and then share that with people, because it's a good thing to share. However, if you've not figured out the space, you've not figured out the context, you've not figured out why you're doing it, it will kill you.
Very true. A lot of people ask, like, who's social media app?
Who's social media app?
Personally, for me, social media has been amazing for me. I do not, maybe because I take breaks a lot of times. Sometimes I can stay 3 months without being there, 90 days, that kind of thing. So whenever I come, I feel like, oh, this is fresh and this is good, right? But not everybody's like that.
True.
This is the GrandFather podcast, all right? So I want to, first of all, thank you all for the love and the support I got. When was that? Last week. Yes, the love and support we got last week with the first episode. Thank you. If you've not listened to it, just look down below. You're going to get that episode. But today we'll be talking about context versus content, why social media is killing you, all right? And I have my friend here, Godswill, Ezeonyeka. Godswill, how far?
Hey, bro, how far? How's it going?
I'm good. It's been a very long time. I've known Godswill for about how many years now?
A lot of years.
2012, right?
A lot of years. Definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's 2013, because 2014 we did Pen Speak.
2013. Anyway, that's true. Like, I was thinking 2012 was the time, because fellowship stuff. I used to come in, we just breeze past each other and stuff.
We were breezing a lot. We were breezing a lot past each other until we finally met. Thank God for poetry.
Yeah, very true. How you did now? How is it going on over there?
Pretty well, bro. I've been doing a lot of thinking, and creating as well. So I'm really excited for that.
I hope nothing's affecting you guys over there in UK.
Oh, I'm in the UK. Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, it's God that's protecting people. We just do what we can, wear the mask, wash your hands and all that, but eventually it's still God that protects us.
Yeah, very true. Okay, so let's talk about it. Have you faced any form of pressure online before?
How do you mean pressure online? Do you mean pressure to post?
Yes, pressure to post, pressure to show what you are made of, pressure to meet up with the standard,
like peer pressure,
that kind of thing. Well, if you call that peer pressure, the pressure may not be coming from your peers.
No, true. I'm not saying like in comparison. It's like peer pressure, and this one is social media pressure. Is that in that kind of context?
Yes, very true. Yes.
Yeah. Well, personally, my personality, right, is not very pleasurable.
Okay.
In a sense, like right from growing up, I've always built and many people will not believe that I would say this, but I've always built a rebellious kind of approach to thinking.
Okay.
So I'm the person that when everybody's thinking this thing, I want to see why they are not thinking the other thing. Do you understand? So that has kind of shielded me. However, I have seen it happen.
Yeah.
To friends and close people.
Okay, so do you think that social media is doing more good than it is doing bad, or how do you see it?
Well,
like a lot of people ask, like, who's social media app?
Who's social media app?
So personally for me, social media has been amazing for me. I do not, maybe because I take breaks a lot of times. Sometimes I can stay 3 months without being there, 90 days, that kind of thing. So whenever I come, I feel like, oh, this is fresh and this is good, right? But not everybody's like that.
The thing is, and I'm saying this both from personal experience and from research that I've done. I've come to a conclusion that social media is a tool.
Okay, is a tool.
Many people think of social media as a place and as a, what other word would I use? But basically, like as an existing being of its own. It's not. it's just another tool that humans have gotten. It's like another toy that you give a child, right?
Yeah.
If you give like a child that is used to hammering something, if you give that child a doll, it will hammer it.
Yes.
If you give it a plastic car truck, it will hammer it, right?
Yes.
So it's just a new doll that we have as human beings, and when you see it in that context, you tend to know how to regulate it. And it should not be, because I've not seen anybody that always wants to use a knife, right? There's nobody that knives might be great, but you don't always want to use it because you understand that it's a tool, and it's only when you need it you use it.
Yes.
Once you have that kind of relationship with social media, I think you'll be fine. But if you think that social media is a whole being by itself that controls itself, it's human beings that are doing everything that's happening on social media.
Yeah.
One last thing I'll say about that is that what social media has helped us do is reveal who we truly are.
Yeah. when you say social media has helped people helped reveal who we truly are, there's this slang of being yourself. Be yourself.
Yeah.
You get the whole idea.
Yeah.
Now, this be yourself mantra has made it such that we have more. Social media becomes more like a liberal environment.
True.
Where people want to say their thoughts, right? And in them saying their thoughts, irrespective of the fact that they have that free environment, some of them don't want to be responsible for that thought that they've expressed. Exactly. They want a freedom of speech without a freedom of responsibility for what they've said.
This is true.
And this be yourself mantra also has made it such that you have a situation where people either become robots or people then go ahead to say, I don't care what other people think. It is my social media page or it is my social media channel.
Block me if you want.
Yes, block me if you want, that kind of thing. And I think the worst part of the whole thing now is that it is okay. Anybody can decide to follow you or not follow you, to friend you or not friend you. But the problem becomes when these things begins to affect you psychologically.
True that.
A situation where if somebody blocks you, you feel like, oh, I feel very bad. This person just blocked me. And then secondly, we have what's really growing now, and I feel sad about it. This whole cancel culture.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't like you, normally what they should do is they either block you, unfriend you, unfollow you, or something like that. But now this is not even the case. What we are seeing now is a situation where people report your accounts. Not because they don't like all that you said, but because they don't like one specific thing you said.
Yeah.
If you say, oh, I don't like this artist, or I don't like this food, or I don't like this thing, instead of the person blocking you or gently saying, oh, they like it, or gently, saying something against that, what you find now is they report your account.
Yeah.
And when they report your account, the algorithm or the system in itself just ejects you or blocks your account.
Yeah.
Don't you think that we are even building the toxic culture we see online? We are supporting the toxic culture we see online.
This is very very, very vital thing that you pointed out, and that is telling of your thought pattern. Very, very deep. What this shows us, right, is, like I said before you mentioned this, that social media is revealing who we truly are.
Yes.
And when I was thinking about what you were just saying now, the thought that came to mind was that if we look at the trend that social media has taken, it came out starting as everybody do what you like. It was an opportunity for you to be without inhibitions.
Yes.
But then inhibitions led to us eventually realizing that, oh, we don't like everybody saying what they like. We don't like that. And now we have instead of moving to a balance of like proper regulation and everybody taking responsibility for what they are saying, we've now taken it to another extreme, and that extreme is now the cancel culture and this insane idea that people don't grow. I follow the story of Kevin Hart, and hosting the Oscars.
Yes.
That time. Is it the Oscars? I think it's the Oscars, where the young man was called up to host the Oscars, and he was so excited. This was his biggest achievement as a comedian, right from when he was growing up, right? And then a tweet that he had done 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, was brought back up.
Yes.
And the funny thing is, right under that tweet was another tweet where he apologized for the former tweet.
Yes.
And this other tweet was brought back up again, that he did this and he has to apologize again, which is funny. But I don't want to go into the exclusive points of that particular event. My point is, in a normal sense, none of us in the real world will blame, for instance, a child of 15 years old for something they did at 10 years old. Right?
Yeah.
But you see, that shows the extreme nature of this cancel culture. However, I just want to point out something, that society, the real society, actually had to have taken that same trajectory. I suppose that when countries were still coming up and society was still something, there were times when killing was normal. Like, you killed because you felt like it. There was a time that two men would just be angry and they'll be like, no, let's go outside and shoot whoever die first, Yes. But then that we figured out, well, we should not be doing that. We should not be killing ourselves, right? And then we moved to this extremely patriarchal, society with all the systems that we complain about today. That even these systems are the thing that we complain about that made us like social media, because of the freedom it gives us, right?
Yeah.
And yet, guess what's happening? Because social media is not a solution in itself, it's just a tool. We have driven social media through the same trajectory, and now we are going back into this military regime level of social media, where everybody is policing the social media. And very soon it will come back to the same thing.
Yeah, it's you're very right, and that's why we see trends and fads and these things keep happening. It looks like if you don't join a trend, you are not even supposed to be a human being. You're not even supposed to be yes, that's true. That's what we see. Like, I don't know if it happens over there in England, but here in Nigeria still, the way you left it is the way it is. Like, everybody's angry with the vex, that kind of thing. And you hear people say, for instance, if you don't join a movement or you don't join
you're not worthy to be in Nigeria.
You don't chant with them. Yes, don't even. You see people post, don't even chat me up again from today if you cannot join our hashtag. Do you understand my point? Forgetting that you also have a freedom to not join whatever. So, and at the end of the day, also the level of hate. It is very true that you shouldn't join every trend. You cannot join every trend.
It's not possible.
Sometimes I am not even online when some things are trendy. You understand? You don't join every fad. Those things don't even last. It's not even a reason to create enemies with people or inherit enemies. You understand? So if you had a situation where everybody is blocking everybody and canceling everybody on the slightest provocation, then it means that what divided you was greater than what united you in the first place.
100%.
So yes, so these trends and these these fads are what's making it look like social media is killing us, really. And this even affects us psychologically. Somebody was reached out to me, a younger person, and he was like, he's not feeling so well. I said, why are you not feeling so well? He said, just bad vibes, enemies. I'm like, okay, at your age you're having enemies. Okay, that's cool. Which kind of enemies? He said he posted a picture, and there's this guy that said, that gave him these bad vibes, in quotes. I said, okay, which picture is that? Is that on your social media? I said, yes. I went there and I saw tens of comments, Let's take, for instance, 20-something comments saying, oh, this picture is nice, how great picture, good this, that. And only this one person came in and said that he's showing off. That comment, one comment alone, made him feel bad for a whole day.
Wow.
One comment. 26 people said, oh, you're this is, or 20-something people said this is good. Then this one comment made him feel bad. And I was like, oh my God, is this how much social media is actually affecting us?
This is kind of why the what we're talking about today is really important, right? Because it did many people look at the social media space as what you are doing on there, but then, like you say, what it is, what we are experiencing, right? The kind of environment we create using social media is in itself toxic to our psychology.
Yeah.
You understand? I remember there was a time that there was a strong argument and strong discussion around removing the like button from Instagram.
Yeah.
Because people were now judging their self-worth over how many likes they get,
man.
Which is dangerous. Or like you say, and this thing that you said to this guy, it's not just based on him. There was a whole documentary that was done and in the documentary there was an example of a 12-year-old girl, a small girl, that had posted a picture on Instagram and got like 2 or 3 likes, and then she went and found makeup and put makeup, I think put on a wig or something, and then she posted it, and everybody was like, oh wow, this is nice. She got more likes, so she was really happy. And then someone just posted, you have big ears. and then she was depressed again.
That depression comes in short, most artists, most popular in quotes online celebrities and public figures that you see who are out there without caution, if you ask them and they speak to you sincerely, like a few have done, they will tell you how much they've been depressed one way or the other within the past few years. Do you understand? This is one of the things that I have to say also. I have to say this: you don't have to post it to show it. Do you get? Some of the
we need to write that
times, down. No, but really, some of the times I finish typing, I'm about to post something, and I found out that I don't have to post this. Do you understand? Yes. I don't have to post my mother, who is not on Facebook, to show her that I love her, when I can actually show her that I love her. Do you get my point? Like, I don't have to post an achievement. For it to be an achievement. Do you understand? So the context 100%. Versus content of this is, I don't have to post it to show it. And a lot of times when you post it to show it, you have that what's it called? You set a precedence for you to continuously want to meet up with a target.
Yeah.
And naturally, that's not how life is supposed to be. Like, you got a car, you want to show it. You got this. It's not a bad thing if you do anyway. But the context, the main purpose for which you're doing that actually matters a whole lot. You get what I'm trying to say. So
that's the rhetoric I'm trying to push with this understanding, is that first off, what you are posting is it's cool, and many people might look at it that why you posting your car, but then you don't want to talk about why the person is posting his girlfriend that you have not married. Like, there's a whole lot we can talk about when we talk about content. That's what exactly you are posting, right? However, context makes you think about it in a broader perspective. And for those that are listening, context would be the environment. So social media, or if you want to go a little smaller, maybe Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, right?
Yes.
Where you are posting it should matter to you even more than what it is you are posting. Because like you pointed out very importantly, you said that like someone that is posting their car to show, right? Yes. And then they then tend to repeat that character, repeat that habit, and re-emphasize whatever it is that the reason that they are posting, right?
Yeah.
So you realize that at that point, when somebody gets into that loop, it's no longer really about the content they are posting.
Yeah.
But is now a behavioral deficiency that they need to show, or they need validation from other people that their achievements are worthy,
You're very right.
Which is a real problem. And the interesting thing, that validation came because of the experience of social media. Because social media will give you validation, trust me. Post a video and people will like it, and you get that that dopamine high. boom.
Yes.
Ooh, people like me. Ooh, people like the way I look today. Maybe tomorrow if I look and I'm not sure, maybe my people will tell me. Oh, you know how social media will be like, oh, my people, oh, my fans.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
You know, because there's a very important system that makes social media work, and that's the validation cycle, right? Put something out there and people will like you or not like you, and then that proves that you are worthy or that your product is quality,
which is one of like the paradox that we see.
Exactly.
The fact that you can garner thousands or hundreds of likes and follow-ups and etc, and you find out that this person is not even your friend, in quotes.
Yeah,
I've met people in church, at school, in conferences, and they just walk past me. I'm the one that even calls and says, it is me, this guy, you are my friend on Facebook, or you are my friend on whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, hi. And this person just commented maybe last week on whatever, you know. So I found out that sometimes also in a bit to not want to be, because we've talked now about people who are expressive. We should talk about those who are not expressive. In a bit to not want to be expressive, you lose touch, you become a robot in itself.
Yeah.
Social media is for people. You understand? Social media is for people and by people. So if you imagine if you don't post because why must I post on social media? Well, you may wake up one day and find out that everybody is like you. So you came on social media and there is no post for you to. You keep refreshing, but there is no post. Do you understand? So, in as much as we are trying to talk for this end, we have to, for the popularity paradox, we have to talk about the unpopularity paradox too, right? So you don't have to actually post it. You don't have to actually post it to show it. Like you don't have to post your wife to show it. You don't have to. You can tell your wife without letting us know. Okay, I shouldn't talk about wife. I'm not married. But you get the whole idea, right?
I get the idea. Then there's also the idea of a perfectly crafted social media presence. You know, them people that take their time and really craft the perfect image.
Yes.
The problem with that is even when, you know, because that would seem like the balance, right, between not using this platform at all and overusing the platform, right? The perfect balance would be okay, you're just using it just enough to put just a perfect image of what you want. The thing with that is it boils down to, again, is how are you doing it and where are you doing it? Because one of the recent things that we are learning from social media research is that people want to connect on social media because of even though it's not true, but because of a human connection. Obviously, we know that it's not a really, really human connection. But the thing is, the more human you are, the more relatable you are, the more chances that a human being wants to talk to you or wants to follow you or wants to, you know, be in a connection with you. And that's the thing about social media. Social media does establish connections. It does establish some connections, right? However, you cannot compare that connection to what a human in person, I saw you, you saw me connection would be. You understand?
Connection is, right?
So
we all must learn, rather. We all must learn to go beyond the, I liked your post and you liked my own.
Yes.
To reaching out to people, right?
Yes.
Reaching out, like actual reaching out.
Yes. And having actual connections and human connections. I personally, I could testify that one of my best friendships till date was established on social media, and in fact still exists on social media. But it took the extra effort on both parties to make a connection that is beyond what social media provides. Because, like I said, social media is a tool. Very true.
And it's also okay to note that people need to find their space, right?
Yes.
People, we all need to find our spaces. there's a space that does not belong to you.
Yep.
There's a space that belongs to me.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
There's a space I will cope in. There's a space that is good, that if another person gets in there, it will choke them. Because they get in there and all they are seeing are the achievements of people every single day. And before you know what's happening, this thing that's supposed to encourage them in their beginning stages begin to choke them up. And they feel like, oh, I cannot get to these levels of achievement. Forgetting that those people who are posting their achievements in those spaces have taken decades to build that level of that level of glory, right? So you need to own your space, find your space and own your space. There are people who
can I comment on the space
reach
thing?
out to.
Oh, sorry. So in the space thing, right? I think that's where the really juice of this particular podcast exists, is understanding the importance of your space online, right?
Yes.
You cannot survive online if you don't know your space and stay in your lane. Now, stay in your lane, I'm not using it in the colloquial sense. I'm not saying that, God, maintain your side, or don't look for trouble. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, stay in your lane, understand yourself, understand what social media spaces are. Not all social media spaces are the same. They all work on very different levels of human connection. Twitter is very different from Instagram. Instagram is very different from WhatsApp. WhatsApp is very different from TikTok. TikTok is very different from Facebook. It looks like if everybody is just one big ball, but it's not. These things are created with very specific differences, and that's why they are all existing in the market and none of them are suffering, right? Even when the bigger companies try to replicate the smaller ones, you find that in most cases they cannot do it. Like when Instagram tried to replicate what TikTok is doing, they could not take TikTok's market, because TikTok has a uniqueness to it that makes it exist. Now, as a user of the platform, the wise thing to do is understand your personality, understand the platform, which is the context, which is the environment, and then find what works for you. Because if you just jump into posting, right, and sharing, no matter how long you work on your content, if it's in the wrong context, it will fail, and then you will go through your whole psychological trauma, and then it's just an ugly situation. I'll give a quick example of myself. Personally, I like thinking and talking about my thoughts, right? And with the kind of short form quotes I write, one would suggest that I should be on Twitter, right? Because I write short form quotes, so it will enter the space that Twitter gives you, which is about, I think, 180 characters or less, if I'm correct. So, but then I know that the toxicity that exists on Twitter is not for me. And the toxicity for me was not
running away from Twitter.
Now, the thing is, the toxicity for me is not necessarily about how people are mean, because people's meanness does not affect me. However, it's the speed. Twitter is really fast, because for you to make a point, you might have to do like 6 or 7 tweets, and it was designed that way to make it feel like a conversation. So you can tweet something before you even make your point. 7 people have retweeted it and bastardized you, and you're like, calm down, let me make it. But then you don't have that space. So obviously, because I know I want to settle down and make my point, I shift to a Facebook platform where if I post, right, before somebody would read, and first of all, people that are reading are people within my circle that understand my place, and then if you have a question, you put in the comments where I can answer you, and then anybody that comes to that post can read everything, and you see, it's a very much more different way of interaction. However, I have a friend that loves Twitter, absolutely loves Twitter. She goes there to just find out what's happening in the world. That's where she gets her news, right? And I celebrate her. Why? Because she is now my Twitter plug. Basically, if I want to know what's happening on Twitter, I'll just ask her. You know, but she her psychology and her emotional build up fits the responsibilities of Twitter. Now, on the flip side, most people will look at Instagram as somewhere that depresses you because you see, like you rightly said, because of the achievement of others. But for me, that does not happen to me. Instead, I see the achievement of others, and this is a personality thing. This is not like a special skill I have. My personality is the kind of thing that I want to burrow down, right? So when I see somebody doing something excellent, my usual instinct is to open the person's profile and not start going down. And eventually, I learn quite quickly the motivations of the person and the time it took that person to get there. So I give myself hope. I'm like, if it took Lecrae this long to get where he is, I'm all right. I'm not even gone that far, and I'm already doing well.
Yeah.
You know, so it all depends on your way of understanding the way you consume things, and then before you make any post, understand where are you posting these things. What are the ways this platform uses content? You know, if you post on Instagram, if you post a video on Instagram today, let's say you don't have a lot of traction. If you post on Instagram today, you might get 5 views. And that's fact. If you don't have followers and you post, you might get 5 views. But go on TikTok and post without followers, you would get up to 100 or 200 followers in a day. Now, this interesting thing is this. If you build your followers on Instagram, that number keeps on going up. It just keeps on going up. On TikTok, you might get 1 million views today. Tomorrow, you get 100 views. And that's just it. You cannot kill yourself, right? People that understand TikTok live with it. But then imagine somebody that did not do the research before he come in, would see that I got 1 million views on this video. I'm a star, and then goes to post the next video and gets 1,000 views, and then they are depressed. Why are you depressed? It's just the way the platform works.
Yeah.
So that's why I said it's the most important thing, understanding the space and understanding how you work with it. Yeah.
So Sir Godswill, I am really grateful. If there's one more thing you have to say to the people, what would it be?
What I would like to say to people is that we are human beings, not human doings, right? If you are making mistakes with your use of social media platforms, you can change. You can change your actions and decide to pay attention to what you are doing on the platforms, because at the end of the day, what you are doing on the platform, it cannot be equated to who you are. So spend more time working on who you are, and then share that with people, because it's a good thing to share. However, if you've not figured out the space, if you've not figured out the context, if you've not figured out why you're doing it, it will kill you.
Very true. Very true. I'm not so much of the Instagram person. Was it you I was talking to? I said, if I post for Instagram, maybe I get a repeat clothes. And immediately I started the repeat clothes. People don't go like me again. So because fashion stuff has not really been I'm learning anyway. So but because of that, Instagram has not really been my thing. Aside if people want to be coming to listen to look at quotes and the rest, but there are people who are doing amazing at that. But Facebook, maybe once in a while I do that. You get. So for me as a person, I found my space, and because I get tens of what do you call it, invitations or friend requests every week, right? I tend to look at them like, okay, who is this person? What is this person about? Is this the kind of person I want in my space? Do you understand? Okay, so I'm not bothered to get to 1 million people. I'm just okay, is this the kind of person? So when I go through someone's profile and all that they are talking about is lewd stuff or vulgar content, you know, I know that this is not the kind of person I want in my space. You get? Or I go through someone's profile and the kind of insults or you know,
vindictive content,
profanity I see. Yes, vindictive content and this whole insulting people and talking back at them and being harsh and hostile. I just know this is not the kind of person I want in my space. And I like that level of control. I love the fact that I have the power to choose who I want in my space and who I don't want part time. Right? It is not big boy. It is not pride. It is just simply saying, I have this level of control and I choose to use this level of control. Right? So it makes a lot of sense to me as an individual that I can look at the circle of people that I have online, and I am growing and I am learning from them. It gives me a lot of joy to find that out, and not just a situation where it's more competition. And another thing I have to say also is that it seems so much that even on the social media space, we are having too much competition instead of collaboration. Right? We have a situation where we want to outdo, outperform, outpost, each other, right? We want to outshow. So we want to we've not shown what the latest we've been doing is, while there are other people who are actually doing stuff that we do not know about. It doesn't nullify the effects of what they've been doing. It doesn't belittle what they've been doing, but they are actually doing real life stuff. But we have more, especially amongst younger people like us, we have this thing about competition instead of collaboration. And we have to wake up to that. Another thing I have to say, if you pardon me, right? Is that is it that I'm saying all my issues in social media? Yeah, let me say is that we have this thing for instance, instead of me telling you, hey, Godswill, how far I am working on this project, we say, Godswill, I posted it on Facebook now, you should have seen it now. No say I dey work on this project. Like I have up to 5,000 plus people on Facebook, for instance, and I don't hold anybody responsible for knowing what I am doing part time, because they may not even be online. If I have something to tell them personally, I pick up my phone and I call or reach out to them inbox or send email, right? I don't expect them to know. I don't go online saying, who looked at my profile? Oh, he's even online and he did not like my status, or he did not like my picture. I don't do that, because I know that sometimes I am online, but I am online for a different purpose. Do you understand? You get my point. Sometimes I am online and I cannot reply a message at that moment because I am using the platform for something different, or I am streaming something different, and it will be distracting to attend to that message at that point in time. So social media in itself, the context also, we must not focus so much on the content that we lose out on the context for which we are there. You understand? We shouldn't do that. I am really grateful for your time.
I'm glad that you have me.
It means it means a whole lot to me, and I hope that one way or the other, people online find value. How is your master's program going there? I hope you guys don't have us.
No, we don't. But that's a good thing, because like my master's program is on social media research. So.
Oh yeah, very true, and that's one of the reasons why I insisted. Godswill's. In case you listen to this point, anyway, Godswill's master's program is on research and social media. His master's program project, is on research and social media, and that's why I insisted that we should have this, right?
A very calculated approach to it.
Yeah, very true, very, very true. So to everybody, understand this, people are actually watching, right? So whether they like it, whether they comment, whether they share or not, understand that they are actually watching you, right? So to me as an individual, when I make a post on social media, sometimes you make a post and you get 600 likes. You are wondering, what's the difference between this post I made and the one that got just 12 likes or 20 likes, or the one only your family members liked? It is simple. People, whether you like it or not, people are actually watching you, right? You can you can test this out. Do a post on your social media, your normal status, and then post it also on your stories on Facebook, for instance. You find out that sometimes 600 people see your stories, but you still have maybe 50 likes on that same post you made. It simply means that people saw it. The same way you see things and you don't like them is the same way people see your own and don't like them, actually. So it shouldn't bother you psychologically. Understand that people are actually watching. Yes, you know, people are actually watching. Some people are even following silently, right? Some people are actually following silently, and that shouldn't bother you psychologically. Just do what you have to do, and understand that social media is a tool, and make friends. Take the further step to make friends, real life friends, right? Even if you met them on social media, take that, you know, step to reach out, you know, and create that level of synergy. Because at the end of the day, Zuckerberg can say, I don't want to do it again, and all your accounts can be blocked, and all the things you've built as your self-worth on social media is gone. All right, so
it's gone.
I think if you listen to this point, thank you guys for listening. It means a whole lot to me. Seeing even some of my friends abroad listening to this podcast. I just started the GrandFather podcast, and I am grateful that you find value. Please let us know what you think.
Did I say I love that name?
You love the name, ba?
Did I mention that I love the name of your podcast?
The GrandFather podcast. Anyway, it's good to know that you love it. So please let us know what you think. Just let us know what you think, and thank you so much. Sir Godswill, I did grateful.
Thank you for
I beg, stay
sharing
safe
your
over there.
thoughts.
It's like the corona there is not the same.
I will.
It's not the same corona we have here.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same at all.